there, thanks for joining me to color. Today we are going to be working on this adorable Stampin' Bella image called Heidi Needs a Hug. Isn't she cute? I love her. She comes with this main image here, and then this little cute chick over here is separate, and then it also comes with the little sentiment, which I love because then I don't have to search for one. It's already in the package. I will put a link down in the description box to the card kit and all the supplies I used. I would love for you to come shopping with me. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I'll make sure to get back to you. Otherwise, I have already stamped my image on Neenah 80-pound Solar White cardstock with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. So let's color. So let's start out by outlining our image. For that, we're going to use C1, C00, BG quadruple 0, and my colorless blender. So I'm going to start with C1, and I just want to put a little bit of this wherever I want it to be a little bit darker. So like over here underneath of her hair, I'm going to put a little dab of color. And maybe here in the crook of her arm. And let's see, let's do underneath of this cute little chick's wing over here. Like that. And then all of this down here is going to be grass, so we don't have to worry about any of that. But let's do a little dab here underneath of this cute little swirl she's got on her pigtails or on her bun. Okay, and then I'm going to start with C00, and I just want to go all the way around, and I'm going to start right here where this cute little bow is for her pants. And I'm just going to go all the way around, and I'm going to make sure to touch down on top of that C1 that I put down. I want to soften the edge of that a little bit. And we're just going to work our way around to the other side. There's a little bit of that dark gray right here, so I'll make sure to go over that. And here's a little bit from her shirt. And then we're going to go down here to about her pocket. And then we'll do this little bird. So let's start up here kind of where her pocket ended. We'll go around all these great flowers. And I'm not worried if I touch up my flower because I can erase it because I'm doing it first. So if you get a little bit on there, no big deal. And we'll come back around over here. Okay, and then I'm going to take my BG quadruple 0 and I'm going to set it down on top of my colors, and we're going to flick out past both. And make a little bit of a blue background. And I went out about a third of an inch, maybe. I made sure to go over this entire gray area too. So I'm touching down right next to my girl and smushing the ink out away from her. Go over here and see too, if you do this now, then if you accidentally color on her, you will be able to erase that with your colorless blender, which we're going to use next. And I'll bring that out just a little bit more. And come down here and around our cute little chick. And then I'm going to take my colorless blender, and this will work best if it's really wet, so mine's full. And so I'm just going to touch down on top of my girl, and I'm going to go over all three colors, clear out past the edge. And this will blend those together and soften the edge of that blue. And if you colored on any of your parts of your girl, this will also help you erase that. Got a little bit on that leaf there, so we'll swish that a little bit. And I got a little bit on my chick, so let's give him a little bit of my flower here. We'll just smush that all away from there so it's not hanging on there, and it looks like I got a little bit up here on her head. So let's go ahead and push all that extra ink away from her. So let's work on our skin next. For that, we're going to use E11, 21, 00, 000, 50, and then for her cheeks, I'm going to use R02, 12, and 11. I'm going to start down here on her feet with E11, and let me see here. Let's just do a little dab right along the ruffle of her pants, and then I'm going to flick this color away from the inside of her foot And she's got a little bow here. I'm going to try to avoid that because I'm going to leave that white. And then same for this side. And then I'm going to go with E21. And we touch down on top of our E11. And I'm going to do the inside of this bow right here. And just flick a little bit further. And again, I'm going to do the inside of this bow. And then we'll do E00. And I didn't use the last color, or the E000 for her feet, because there's not too much left. I'm just going to go ahead and fill the rest of her foot in. And then I did my E50, which has got a little bit of a yellow tone to it, and I went over the entire foot to add this shade to her skin. Alright, and then let's go up here and we will do her arms, or her arm. So again, I'm going to go with E11. Okay, and let's do right underneath this cute little chick's wing. And then I want to do along the bottom of her arm. And then over here, let's do her shoulder and around the bottom of her arm. And I'm going to do a little bit in her elbow right here. And we want to do a little dab underneath of this ruffle for her shirt. Then I'm going to grab E21, and we just want to soften that edge. We'll just go right along the edge and give it a little tap of color. And over this elbow here. And then I'm going to bring this color up and try to do a really thin line up over the top of her pants. And then we're going to add E00. And I'm going to fill in her knuckles over here. And then we're going to bring this color up to her arm, go over the top of her pants. And then we'll take E000 and fill in the rest. And then we take our E50 to add that yellow tone and go over the entire thing. Then let's go up here and we'll do her face. So again, grab E11, and she's got just a little dab of her neck showing between her shirt right here and the chick's wing. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. And we're going to go up here and we're going to do a little bit beside her bangs that are cupping her face. And let's do this side. And then let's do this one. Like that. Then we're going to add E21. So I want to bring this down on top of my E11. And we're going to flick out just a little bit. I don't want to go too dark. Bring that around over here a little bit. And then we'll go with E00. Leave kind of a little oval there in the middle of her face. And then E000, and I'm just going to swoosh right over that little oval. And then I'm going to add some cheek color, so let's grab R02. And let's do a little dab. And we've got to remember to do her ear up here too, after I do her cheeks. And then we'll add a little dab of R12. And then R11. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab E11, and I'm going to add a little color to her ear. And then I'm going to add a little dab of E21. And then I'm going to take double zero to fill it in. And then I also want to use this color over here on her face. We're going to go right over the top of that cheek. Same for this side. And then we'll go over it with our E000. And then our E50 to add a little bit of that yellow. And then if you wanted her cheeks to be darker, you could go over them a second time, but I'm liking the pink there, so I'm going to leave her like that. Alright, for her hair, let's use E49, 47, 35, and 13. And I'm going to start with my E47. So let's go ahead and add a little bit right down here on this cute little section that is coming down next to our little bird. And I'm going to use some of these lines that are already here as my guide. So see, like she's got a few little cute little streaks right here. I'm just going to come up with my pen and add some color right on top of that. Like that. And let's go over here and we'll do this side over here too, where she's got this, where it's dipping down behind her face. I'm trying not to get too much on her face. I don't want to make a big mess. Okay, and then I'm going to give her a part. So I'm going to go right up here where there's a little dip right here where there's no ink. And I'm going to start on this side. I'm going to bring it down to this little piece that's coming down right here onto her face. And then I'm going to use that to just add a few little streaks away from that part. And then we want to make sure to do a little dab in here in each of these little pigtails or bun. And then I also want to do a little dab coming away from this flower. And since the flower is going to be white, I'm going to try not to get any on there. Okay, then we're going to add E35. So let's grab that. Let's add a little bit to this little swoosh that's coming over the top of this bird. And some swirls up here in her bun. And then I'm going to add a little bit of my E13. And make sure to get up here in your bun. And I'm not worried that I didn't cover it all up because we got our darkest color to come in, and then I'll probably add a little bit more of some of those colors. So let's go with E49. And I just want to add a little dab of this. So I'm going to try to keep my pen more upright so I can just make a few little tiny streaks. Turn it a little bit here so I can get up here by her roots or her part. Okay, and then I'm going to go back again with my E47. Let's add a little bit of that in here. I think I will leave her like that. I'm kind of liking that. Let's do her overalls next. For that, we're going to use BG 57 and 53 and the B00 and 000. I'm going to start with my BG 57, and let's go up here and get the little strap for her overalls first. I'm going to go right underneath of her chin and then down the side to the button. And I'm just going to fill in this little triangle that's underneath the button there. Then let's do this little flap of her overall right here. A little dab up the side of her wrist. And then I'm going to grab BG53. And I just want to soften that edge a little bit. And then this is B00. I'm going to fill in this little triangle right here. And this cute little strap. Okay, and then let's go down here and we'll work on this side of her pants. So again, I've went with BG57. So let's go up here, and I'm going to go ahead and just draw my line right down next to the pants so that I have something to flick off of, because I want this side of her pants to be lighter right there. So I've got my line. Now I'm just going to go down that line and flick away out here. And as I do this, my hand picks up at the end, so the end of my check mark is a lot lighter. And then I'm going to add BG53. And then B00. And then B000. And I didn't worry that it didn't blend because I want to go over it a second time. Let's go ahead and fill in this ruffle down here. So we're going to grab BG57. And I'm going to go just a little bit past where I've laid this last time, because I can still see the line there. I'm going to go just a tad bit out more. And then BG53. And this will get right along that edge. Flick out here. Maybe just a little bit past where we went last time. And I'm going to go over that line just a second time. And then B00. And then B000. Then I'm going to grab my BG53, and I'm just going to do a small line right around the edge of the little chick's wings that are touching her pants. Just give it a little bit of a shadow right there. Okay, and then let's go do this side. So again, I'm going to start with my BG57. And let's start up here underneath of her arm. So I'm going to go along the edge of her arm and then come down the seam of this pants. And then for her back of her pants, or her fanny here, let's go with our BG57 up to the button. And we'll go right along this pocket. I don't want to color the pocket this dark color. I'm going to make that lighter, so I'm going to go right over the top, over the outside of that. And then let's bring this color up. And we're going to go right back over here to the other side of her pants. Color in down here. And then let's bring this color up and away from this line. And then I'm going to do that leg last. So I'm going to go now with my BG53, because I want to do it a second coat just like I did the other leg. So let's go ahead and go right along these pants. I'm going to come past this button. And then B00. And then B000. And I remember, I'm not worried that it's not blended because I want to go over it a second time. So let's grab our BG57. I'll go right down along the edge of that ruffle. And like I did the other side, I'm going to pull just a little bit further past where I laid this color the last time. And then we'll add BG53. And I'm going to color this pocket. And then we'll add B00. And then our B000. Alright, then let's do this leg over here. So again, grab BG57, and we're going to bring this color right along the edge here. Down to this bow, and I'm going to bring it out this way quite a bit more. And we'll add BG53. And then B00. And then our B000. And we'll start over with our BG57. And then BG53. And then B00. And then our B000 to fill it the rest of the way in. Okay, let's do the shirt, the buttons, or the ruffle on the shirt, the buttons, and her shoes next. For that, we're going to use our 27, 05, and 22. I'm going to start with my R27. Let's start down here on our cute little shoes. So let's do a little dab right next to where her foot is. Down here to the bow. And then we're going to go right along the sole. And then for this shoe, let's go right along the back of her shoe. And red's not very forgiving, so I'm trying to be really careful. I don't want to go outside the lines. And next I'm going to add R05. Okay, add a little dab over here. And careful of that little bow. And let's fill in the back of the shoe. Up to the bow. And we'll add a little dab on the front. And then we're going to fill in the rest with our R22. And then for her shoelaces, I'm going to use C0 just to go over those. Give them a little bit of color. And let's go up here and grab this button right here by the on her fanny. So again, I'm going to start with R27. And let's do the back. And then for this one, let's do this side too. And then we'll add a little dab of R05. And then we'll fill it in with our R22. go in a little circle there and swoosh all those colors together. Like that. And then we'll also use this up here on the ruffle for her shirt. So again, grab R27. And let's do right along the edge of her overalls. And up here underneath the cute little bird's wing. And then she's got a little bit back here behind her arm, so I'm going to do that. And then let's do right along the back of her arm and maybe a little dab underneath of her face. And I'm going to go with R05. So let's add a little bit of this down here. And then we'll fill it in if we got a little bit of space left with our R22. A little dab there. Okay, so also I want to use this to, the R22 to color these flowers on her shirt. So I'm just going to go in and give each flower a little dab of color. Try not to color her whole shirt. And then later I came back with my Sharpie white paint pen and gave each flower a little dab of white in the center. Let's do the chicks next. For that, we're going to use Y26, 21, and 06. So I'm going to start with my Y26, and let's go ahead and we'll do this cute little guy over here first. And let's go ahead and go right along the bottom of his body. And a little dab along the back here. Then I'm going to add Y21. And a little bit to his little wings. And then I'm going to go over the entire body with my Y06. Make him very yellow. Okay, and then let's go over here and get these guys. So again, I'm going to go with my Y26. So let's do this guy's wings here first. Give each little section a little dab of color in there. And then for his face, let's go here where it's drooping down. Then we're going to add Y21. I'll bring this over the top of his beak. And we'll add some to his to his wings. And then we're going to add Y06. Alright, same for up here. Let's start again with our Y26. And let's give each of these little wings here for this cute guy a little dab of color. And let's do this side. And then I'm going to go down here in between his leg and her hand Maybe a little dab above her finger here. Then we'll add Y21. Up here past his beak. He's got his eye all squinched up where she's hugging him. And then we'll add our Y06. Swirl around up here, got a little bit of a line right there. Okay, like that for the cute birds. Then let's do his foot, their feet, with YR09. So I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to be very careful with the tip of my pen. And if you're like me and you don't use your YR09 very much, you might want to remove the other end of your cap so you don't have it drop everywhere and make a big huge mess. So I don't use this one very much, and it seems very wet. Okay, then we're going to do, their beaks. So for their beaks, let's use YR9, YR04, and Y17. So I'm going to start with YR09 since I'm already holding it. Let's do a little dab right here, a little dab right here, and then this cutie up here, let's do a little dab along the side. And then we'll add a little dab of YR04. This one I'm just going to fill in. And then lastly, our Y17. And even though I filled this one in, I'm just going to add a little touch of that. So let's add a little dab of color to our flowers. For the flower, on the petals, we're going to use V20. And then for the centers, I'm going to use YR04 and Y17. So I'm going to start with my V20. And I just want to add a little dab right next to the center of the little petal, or the flower, and then go down that cute little line they've already drawn there for me. And same for up here, this one in our hair. I'm going to go right next to the center, and then just do a little small line coming up away from that center part. And then right here, I've colored her hair onto this flower. So I'm going to take my colorless blender, and I'm just going to dab it and get rid of that, so she doesn't have a brown patch on her flower. Okay, and then for the center, let's start with YR04. And let's do this one up here first. So let's go right along the bottom. And then this one, let's go right along this side. And then we'll fill it in with our Y17. Let's do the leaves on the flower next. For that, we're going to use G24, 12, and 40. I'm going to start with my G24. Let's see if we can get a little closer. Okay, so I'm going to take my G24, and I just want to go a little dab along the bottom of each petal. And then I'll add a little dab of my G12. And I try to touch down on top of the edge of my G24. And then we'll go over the entire thing with our G40. And I kind of go in a little circle and scrub it around a little bit. Like that. And then we're going to give her something to sit on. So for that, we're going to use G24, let me make sure I have my pins in the right order. G24, G43, G12, G40, and G20. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to start with G20 just to give me a line. So I want her to have a little bit coming out away from her fannies. Let's go right. Oh no. Oh, that's a big mess. Look, I got a big old blob right there on the bottom of my paper. So I'm going to take the end of my other end of my cap off and let the pen pressurize. And luckily her pants are blue, so you can't really tell too much that it's on there, but I'll put some blue on that later. But we're going to go right across here And I want to give me something for her to sit on, just a reference line. And let's go over here. Yeah, that made a big, huge blob right there. Okay, so we're going to leave the lid off of that for just a bit. Okay, so now we're going to go with G24. And that was just my reference line, so I want to go back over that. And your piece is going to be cut in a circle, so you probably won't have to go out quite so far. But there, that gives us a little something for her to sit on. And then I want to bring this color down here. Look, we're going to color right over the top of that giant blob. That was a mess. See, so that happens to everybody. And we'll go right underneath of her pants. Okay, and then let's bring it over here underneath of her pants. And we're going to flick away from her body. So we got a little bit more color there. And let's do a little bit underneath of her shoe. And same for this shoe. And let's do a little dab over here coming away from her foot. Kind of soften that line a little bit. Okay, now we're going to add, let's see if we can get a little bit further away here. We're going to add G43. So I'm just going to go right along those lines. Maybe add a little bit here behind her shoe. Over here, try not to color your bow for your shoe. There's got a little bit of background that's showing in between that bow, so I'm going to be very careful and I put a little dab of color in there. And we'll bring this color out here past our chick. And then we're going to add G12. So let's bring this color up on top of this line. Same for this side. Let's go above this dark line. Add a little bit of color. And in the center, I'll go ahead and fill that in. Next we're going to go with G40, and I'm going to bring this color up even more. And I colored in the inside. I'm going to go ahead and swirl over this middle section. Okay, now we're going to take the Dangerous G20, and we're just going to do a little dab of that along here. I must have just filled this one up for the last time I used it, and I completely forgot. The center section, I'll go up a little bit more. Okay, then I'm going to, now that I have all the grass there, I'm going to go back with my G24, and we're going to give a little bit more of this dark in here. So let's go right along her foot. Underneath of her shoes here, and then I'm going to add a little bit of this color just randomly in here. And then I'm going to grab G43. I'm going to do the same thing. Let's just add some random kind of streaks in here. Make it look a little more interesting. Then I'm going to take my G40 and go over those streaks just to soften them just a little bit. Okay, so this big blob that I have here on my pants from my boo-boo with my G20, I'm going to take my B00 and just flick right over the top of that and make it a little bit more blue. Then I think I will take, let me grab another one. Let me grab B000 and just lightly go over that entire section right there. So we can make it a little less green. So it's not perfect, but it's a lot less green than it was with that big old blob sitting on there, so that looks a lot better. So there is our beautiful Heidi Needs a Hug, all colored up. Didn't she turn out cute? I love her. And then again, here is the finished card. So on my finished card, I have added some Spica glitter pen to her hair to add some sparkles. And then I use my Sharpie white paint pen. Make sure to shake that again with the lid on or it will spray everywhere. But I put some cute little dots on her cheeks, and then on all the flowers of her shirt, I added a little dab of white paint. And then the sentiment is popped up, and these cute little fence dies are popped up on the card. Otherwise, it's flat. So I hope you had fun coloring with me today. If you have a question, make sure to leave me a comment. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.